Salute everybody. Welcome to Switching Lanes with Miss Parker. Miss Parker. Hey, mini sis. Hey, sis. I said I was gonna call you right after the live. As soon as I get done, I'll call you. I don't know if ain't nobody getting their notifications, but hey, I'm here. I can talk to myself for a minute. I hope you're having a blessed Taco Tuesday, sissy. So today I want to talk about. Hey, Missy. One of the subs had hit me up about a story about their nephew and some stuff they went through. And after kind of doing further research into it, I said, I got to talk about this. I got to talk about this. It's so corrupt and it's so crazy. What up, Nicole? What it do, sis? What up, Goddess Little Sis? What up, Waverly Sis? I said, I got to talk about this for whatever reason, how it happens. Hey, Nisha. Hey, Lucky Charm. Hey, Jamie. Thank you guys so much for pulling up. Hey, Kay. What it do, baby? Barbie on wheels. What it do, sissy? My beautiful full life. Well, my beautiful life. Hey, boo. Hey, Oh, OMG, I'm so happy to be and talked about. Hey, Mooey. Hey, Bookie. What's going on, boo? Long time no see. Hey, Martha Ambrosia. What it do? Hey, Angel. Hey, Davita. Take it to trial. Yeah, we're going to take this one to the trial, okay? Straight to the trial. Hey, LaQuanda. What it do? I'm doing good, Waverly. How you doing? Hey, Rashida. What it do, sissy? I used to work there, so I'm really curious on what you have. I have a lot. I really want to discuss some other stuff that happened up there too. And if you like to come up, you can. Anybody can come up. I would love to hear from you. Take it to trial, but everybody don't like hitting panels. Hey, Candy. Hey, Statements. Yeah. Toot sent it to me anyway, Minnie, right before you did. Yep, Toot sent it to me. I actually was talking to her earlier, so yeah. She said, for 18 years. Yeah, the 20 people in the cloud, can y'all hit that like button for me, please? And thank you. Man, what a day. What a Taco Tuesday it's been. And I made tacos. And stuff. So, probably the only thing I ate today and the only will eat, yeah. And didn't even like them. I was like, they just didn't. When you're a big girl and you like to eat and your appetite changed tremendously, guy, you can take away everything else. Just don't take away my appetite. What up, Nisha sis? What up, Morgan sis? Miss Low-Key, what it do, sis? Let y'all get in here and stuff. I want to run a clip first so you guys can kind of hear up on looking through the Jane Edna building. I was like, damn, a corrupt system and failure for those children. Hey, Jamie Jones, what it do? You want tacos? And the crazy part is when, like, after my surgery, I ate tacos. I couldn't really eat anything else, so I ate tacos. And another subscriber wanted me to kind of do a live about. She said, "Can we talk about breast cancer?" And I will probably Saturday, and I'll drop some resources. I'll get my mods to drop some resources and stuff like that. I'll do a short segment, nothing big, nothing long on it because I touch on it all the time, but I definitely will for her. Hey, Deborah, what it do? I'll never forget they had us all sitting in their room till 4 a.m. waiting for placement. You was there, Wow. Said, I read some pretty nasty things. Pretty nasty things. Prayers for you, okay, baby? From what I read, prayers up to you, okay? Let me get into it so I can go lay down for a second because I'm gonna try to do the Kamani Latique update tonight. If not tonight, for sure tomorrow. I know I got an interview on Thursday, I think, but yeah, I'm gonna have Blue Cheese on here soon. Shout out to Blue Cheese, shout out to Black Diamonds that changed the movement of music for the children. Hashtag save our kids, Be just real, what it do, sis? Angelita, what it do? You waiting for my show to come out? Which show, Angelita? Hi, Jamie Jones. She said that was me, sis. Okay, that sent me the one to talk about the breast cancer. Okay, okay. I know somebody hit me up on Instagram. Yeah. Can we get a day in August for SMA? I sure can. I sure can. Yeah. Barbie texted to me actually, so I can have it in my Rolodex. Okay, sissy. What I wanted to real. Let's get into it. I want you guys to hear this news clip, which is super sad to me. Because I talked about one of these kids. She was my second child case I covered on my channel. And that's my baby. Anaya Day. And I pray for Anaya every day to get justice. And I wasn't streaming. I would love to. Boo. Oh, you're streaming? Okay. Okay, it's okay. Let me get into this clip. Make sure my phone volume is up.
Our team coverage of those children falling through the cracks continues now with the Sia New Yorker.
Yep, Sia, you've been trying over the past couple of weeks, really, get answers about Anaya Day Garrett and other children who've kind of fallen off the radar of Children and Family Services. So you're trying again today.
I'm trying again today. We're still trying to dig deep. A spokeswoman told us they are not going to release the information. This is after we gave Children and Family Services a list of 45 children who were killed between 2015 and 2017. And
45 kids. 45 kids that were killed in the hands of social workers. Can you imagine 45 kids? Capricorn, can you drop my email for Take It to Trial? Just saying. 45 kids.
asked them to run each child's name to see if they had previous or open cases. These are the faces of 4 children here in Cuyahoga County that are dead, their mothers charged with their deaths. Each one had previous or open cases with Children and Family Services. 4-year-old Anaya Day Garrett found dead with trauma to her head, malnourished, weighing only 29 pounds. Her mother, Sierra Day, and boyfriend, Deontay Lewis, were charged with her death and being held on $1 million bonds. 5-year-old Jordan Rodriguez found buried in the backyard. Investigators recovered his body in garbage bags. His mother, 34-year-old Larissa Rodriguez, was charged with his death. She's the mother of 9 children and pregnant with her 10th child. Documents show her home was filled with cockroaches and rats. She's scheduled for trial next month. During the Rodriguez investigation, it was discovered that Jordan's caseworker from Bright Beginnings, Nancy Caraballo, was reportedly buying Rodriguez's food stamps and allegedly trafficking them.
Wait. Not the caseworker buying the food stamps and trafficking them. M said they wouldn't take action against my dad after me and the police told them what happened. Not buying the food stamps and she said that happened in my hometown. Her story always stuck with me. What about the Jane Edna building? I did send your link to a couple people that work there. So hopefully, thank you. Take it to trial. Thank you. Copyright disclaimer on this section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for use for purposes such as criticism, common news reports, scholarship, research, and educational purposes. Did you see the baby in Birmingham? CPS left him. LaQuanda, I talked about it for a brief. Hey, Carla. Buying the food stamps. M said they wouldn't take action against my dad even after police Me and police told him what happened. Can you kind of, do you not want to talk about what happened? Because if you don't, I totally understand. I do. I get it. Hey, Tammy.
She's been indicted by a grand jury. 5-year-old Tanasia McLeod was killed last March, beaten to death. Her mother, Tequila Crump, and her live-in girlfriend, Ursula Owens, were charged with her death. In the 5 weeks leading up to Tanasia's death, a social worker visited.
Social workers was in everybody's life. They all had open cases against them. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that juicy talk. When we talk about these cases, if it ain't like, just if you are a social worker and you are good at what you do, this is not a dig toward you, just like they talk about fast food workers and other things. So it's not saying all social workers are bad, but there is more bad than it is good. Because if you are good and you are sitting amongst this, hey, Valerie, thank you. If you are a good social worker and you are sitting around anything, and I do mean anything that's disruptive, corruptive, or negative, you're just as worse as them. I don't give a damn how good you say you are. My opinion. My opinion. She said, I actually knew her mother when she was in high school. Not well, though. Thank you, Valerie. Hey, Thankful, what it do, sis? Hey, Shanae. Yeah, buddy, what it do? So that's what I got to say about social workers. The same way, if you watch something happen and you say nothing, and then you want to come forward and say, oh, yeah, I remember when that. You ain't no better than them, to me. You knew. You watched. Let's talk about that. Because I think sometimes people get in their feelings when you get on a subject and that might be their line of work. And it's like, are you saying it's me? Now, I ain't saying nobody name because I don't know these people. I only know what was brought to me, so I did a little research. Not a lot, which I think it needs to be more research done on this story because a lot of children have died. 45 at that. Per the news, 45. So if you work there, or if you worked there at that time, hey, if the shoe fits, lace it. Hey, Karen. I don't understand what's the point of getting the job. They're supposed to be helping out, but helping themselves. Come on, statements. What up, Miss Douglas? I mean, I'm just saying. I don't understand it. I don't understand anything other than bringing awareness if you do work in the CPS. Is it a code of conduct? You stand for your sisters. You stand for the people in the building. You don't want to talk outside of the building. Because I'm talking. I would make it. I would bring the whole system down. Hey, LaToya. The whole system. Because what I won't do is be around anything or anybody that's harming children. Because this is what I thought we were supposed to be doing. Helping the children, not harming the children. So the shoe must have fit and laced it up. Yeah, I know. She said that goes to show that people put in positions by the government to help save the children are corrupt. Come on, Rashida. Come on, sis. Attitude said, I quit working as a social worker for children's services because of the corruption. Let's go, Attitude. Let's go, Attitude. That's what I want to talk about. If you real about what you're doing, you're so good, don't come for me. Because I'm just bringing awareness to some stories that a subscriber sent me about a place I've never been, don't know about. That was pretty messed up. What up, Miss T5? What it do? That's it. That's all. We got mothers in here that's fighting for their children, their grandchildren. And they need to know what they're up against. They're in for one hell of a disruptive fight. Let's go, Miss T. Fight for justice. And I'm just being honest. Y'all welcome Mui, okay? movies from my sector, y'all make her feel comfortable and welcome, okay? This is what I got. Let me read a little bit what I could read of it. More violence at the Cleveland office building. Let me see if I can get that. Hey Marie, what it do? Reports indicate an increased violence at the Cuyahoga County office building in Cleveland. Fox 8 News reported on a 13-year-old girl being arrested for an attack in the building and another incident involving teens turning violent. One report mentions security finding a gun on an 11-year-old boy. Let me tell you about this, you guys. Let me read what else she sent me. But we're going to get to why the kids got so violent. Okay, report shows epic failure at. Sorry, guys. Make sure I'm spelling it right. Oh, there it is. Damn. I just want to make sure I'm spelling it right. Okay. Cuyahoga Children's Services. Because when she sent me, I couldn't open it all. Okay, let's get to it. It has been over a month since two divisions of children and family service workers offered shocking accounts of abuse and sex trafficking of kids, staying at the Jane Edna Hunter Social Services Center. But Cuyahoga County Executive Armand Budish has yet to publicly acknowledge a problem or map out a plan for how to protect youth. Y'all seen young M came in here, right? She stayed there. Instead, Budish and other DCFS officials have indicated they're powerless to stop. Following the DCFS workers' allegations before County Council in July of unanswered phone calls to the child abuse hotline, assaults on staff members, and youth permitted to roam freely in and out of the facility to prostitute themselves or traffic by other vulnerable kids in custody. Not be free to go prostitute themselves. Miss T, I just noticed you have Nazia's picture as a profile. Okay. Somebody needs to look at Cleveland's Juvenile Detention Center. Kids getting hurt because officers are allowing it. I read something like that up on researching this beat. Not kids going outside the building to prostitute themselves. Not children prostituting other vulnerable children. Like, what? Wait, what? Director of Health and Human Services, David Merriam, said his hands are tied. How's his hands tied, y'all? He told concerned council members after the meeting that the county is legally required to accept any child coming to the office but has no authority to stop them from leaving. Wait a minute. Look, M said people come in there and recruit the little girls all the time. He said children can come in. They have to accept any child coming in, but they can't stop them from leaving. She said, how is that like you're an adult and authority figure? Come on, statements. Come on. And yet, neither county nor state officials have been able to explain since then what laws or policies support that position. She said the security guards be buying weed for the kids. I heard. She stayed there. It don't have to be our children to feel away. And I'm sorry, baby. I don't have any words right now. I'm lost. Only thing I could do is just read right now, but I'm sorry that you were subjected to those things, okay? I am. So they don't protect the kids in or out the system. That's what they said, Karen. They cannot stop the children from walking out of the building and selling themselves if they want to. What? But they stop kids when they leave school. Come on, statements. Martha, yes. Thank you, Davida. She said they be in there selling their prescription to the kids too. I heard. I know this baby ain't lying because she ain't the one who sent it to me. It was a subscriber. And she wanted to tell me about her nephew. I don't know what's happening with this tow truck, but he's bothering me. The sad part about it, everything she said. Wait, it gets deeper, y'all. It gets deeper. People need to get in the field they want to work in. This is not a job, okay? I don't know what you was meaning by that, Valerie, but you can repeat it. Miss Cookie, what it do? Is also not far from the adult homeless shelter. It's all kind of weirdos walking around in that area. Look, Mooey said that's a lie. Mooey, you can't tell them that's what this is the director of human. This is the main people saying they can't stop the children from walking in and going outside and selling, prostituting themselves. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Venetia. Angel's unaware. She said, are they okay? No, they not. But if a parent can't make their kids go to school, they come to, yeah. What up, Rare? What to do, sissy? Yeah. Don't forget, if you don't send them to school, they taking them from you, Mooey. Only for them to go in that building and be able to go outside and sell themselves if they want to. The security selling weed and they're selling prescription pills to the children. It's so many people who just don't give a far about people's lives. Evil at its finest. Hell yeah. What up, one man? One man band. You ever heard of a CPS building center for the children saying, hey, they can go out and prostitute themselves if they want to? They can't stop them from going out and prostituting themselves and coming back and laying their head down. Right, Karen? This is crazy work. Man, Mooey, I ain't never heard nothing like it. She said they took my dad's word over mine and the police, even though the hospital reported him for abandoning me. I read in the reports, that they had thousands of kids in this building, y'all, or hundreds. No bed, no blankets, no food. No food. She said, I say people should be the change they want to see, volunteer, become a foster parent. Is that the only solution you have? Or you must be a social worker, Juicy. Because that's kind of the second comment that you made. Kind of like, not negative, but not so like, well, if y'all won't change, be a foster parent. No. That's not the answer. Man, yeah, buddy, you heard me. That's not the answer. If y'all won't change with the kids, go be a foster parent. Nah, hell no. And I'm telling y'all that now. It don't mean go be a foster parent. These buildings are set up for corruption, is what you're saying, and you must be a social worker. See, I'm going to tell you again. I'm going to say it one more time. If you are a social worker and you watching it, or you are surrounded by anybody that's doing anything like this, being negative or corrupt or a failure to the system that is set up for the children to be safe, you are just as part of the problem. Like I said, lace the bitch up. I don't give a fuck today. I don't feel good either. Come for me. Don't come for my people. Don't come for me. It ain't a solution. See, I like being part of a solution, but the solution starts with the government. Because let's be honest, everybody can't even go out and be a social worker. A foster parent. Let's talk about it. I'm so sick of negative America. I'm so sick of negative African Americans. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick. And this is why the fuck we're losing our children. We want to place blame instead of dealing with the real issues. The issues start with parents. If they take my children, because I fucked up, because everybody do. I ain't saying nobody's perfect as a parent. I wasn't. But when you take my children from me for being fucked up, you gonna let my baby walk in there and walk out to prostitute themselves, and we supposed to say this is okay and say you gotta blame the parent? I blame the parent. I blame myself. I blame myself. I blame myself for being a fucked up parent to my children. Not doing what I was supposed to do as a mother, but you don't get to take my children and say my children can walk in and out of a building and prostitute themselves. That's what? So as a mother, I made a change to get my children out of that corrupt system. And not saying everybody's like me and has those capabilities. What up, can't get right, babe? Everybody don't got those capabilities of getting up when they get knocked the fuck down. Are you the fuck okay? Let's go. We can do whatever you want to do. Because it's a come for me type of day, y'all, I guess. Go get my look. Think I got to wrap my hair up, take my jacket out. I done got hot. I just got hot, y'all, because it was like oh, you be the change you talking about. What? What? Right. Be just real. What? Right, goddess. What about that? I just played a clip where Nancy Schaefer said what they do with the CPS, and they took that woman's life. She was a senator. Let me finish reading. Let me. What you say, M, baby? I'm sorry, M. I'm sorry, I missed your whole comment. It be so many kids in there. They don't have no control. Thank you, Miss T. Fight for Justice. I mean, I ain't get on here blaming shit for one. Let's start there. Subscriber sent me a story. And as I got to kind of reading it, they said their nephew was there. Like him. And she said, I tried as much as I could. I did everything. They just wouldn't let me get them. The auntie said they just wouldn't let her get them. But they put her nephew in a home with hundreds of other kids. Hundreds of other kids. No beds. And guess what happened, y'all, when these kids was in this building? All the adults left them. All the adults left the kids in this building by themselves. It's documented. She said, in all families, they are just as a shock as you. I never said expect the government to be parents. Never. I never said that. But y'all have an obligation. What did they take them from the parents for then? Let's start there. So I won't be placing the blame on the government. What did they take the kids for if you're gonna put them, if y'all gonna mistreat them and let them go sell they self and some more shit? Why take them? Why take the kids? I'm asking. Real quick. So we won't be placing blame. Why even take the kids out of... Thank you intentionally. She said, we're not expecting the government to be parents. However, the government will come into your home and try to dictate what go. Come on, Miss Cookie. Only to put your kids in a worse situation? I ain't even done yet. Let me finish reading. Let's go, Mooey. Let me, because my phone is on it's on 1%, y'all. Shit. Where's my charger? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't feel, y'all know I don't feel it. But I'm here. I'm going to do it. I can get through this. Okay. They said at times, damn, I'm sick of these braids. They said at times there have been more than a dozen children sleeping at the county office building because they were unable to be cared for at home. And the county can't otherwise find. Thank you intentionally. Thank you. Check. I ain't gonna do it. Let me finish reading this shit and get out of here. They said, because they was unable to be cared for at home, and the county can't otherwise find them safe placements in foster care, treatment centers, or other residential care facilities. DCFS staff say they're not equipped to manage them. Wait, what? What up, Chanel T? What up, Sissy? They said they're not equipped to handle them, so what? Give me a second. Whew. Almost like I had to go pin my hair up and stuff. Not to fight. You know, that's how I feel like I'm about to fight. Give me a second. Yes, this is bothering me too. Got a tag. I forgot. Okay. All right. What up, Miss Loki? I had to go get my hair pin it up, y'all. I had to pin it up. Right? Get made. Because I know I love the kids, right? And I'm dropping a link. If you want to come up, I guess. Let me finish reading them. DCFS staff say they're not equipped to manage. They're not equipped to manage them. Cleveland police reports show youth ran away from the building at least 135 times in the first 6 months of this year. The department is required to file a missing person report each time a child leaves the building without permission and a note when they return. A sampling of those reports from late June reflected the revolving door that children's services staff say they face. They document juveniles disappearing from the building for hours at a stretch. But if ain't nobody in there with the kids, which I think the kids are going to do, fine, baby. Tell me about it. If there's nobody supervising the kids, ain't some of the kids gonna walk, run? I guess. Juveniles disappearing from the building for hours at a stretch, sometimes in the middle of the night. In one case, 2 teens left to get fast food and still haven't returned by the end of the month. If y'all leaving kids in a building unattended, where's the kids? The month. Yeah. Yeah. They haven't returned by the end of the month. She said Cleveland.com did not ask for records for the past June 30th. One of the reports also corroborated allegations that the nonstop policy was putting children at risk for sexual exploitation. Well,
Hello. Hi, how you doing? Can you hear me? Hey. So I just wanted to say this is not a personal attack or anything like that. I just feel like a lot of times in our community, and I do a lot of community work. I work in the community a lot. I think that a lot of time within our community, what we don't do is we don't come up with real solutions. We can never expect the government to care and love for our children the way that they should. And we cannot expect them to take and be parents to our children. It's the government system is not set up to raise children. There is set up to get a child out of a bad situation or in a situation that could be harmful to them in a sense that they could lose their life, right? But we can't expect them to do that. Back in the 60s and the 70s, you never heard about as many African American children in foster care because we handle stuff within our own communities and ourselves, like for instance with our family members and different things of that nature. We don't have that anymore, and then we're expecting somebody else to take care of our kids. We can't. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that you can't expect a government system to do all of the things that a parent would do.
So why take the children if y'all gonna put them in a worse position?
So I'm just being honest with you. That's the last resort. Like nobody wants to remove a child from a home. That's why they got rid of centers like Metz and Baum and things like that, where there were kids or orphanages. You don't hear about orphanages anymore because they don't exist because they weren't conducive to children. So everybody wants a child to be in a home and be in a setting where they're going to be in a home. Nobody wants that for kids. Is there bad apples? Absolutely. That's in any government system, you know, but there are a lot of people who do care about kids. It's just that the system is not, we have to understand as a community, the system is not set up to take care of our kids. It's just not. It's not set up to take care of any kids. And then when you complicate things, when you bring in mental health issues, behavior problems, autism, it's then it becomes even greater of a problem. We need more foster parents. They don't have a place to house kids. So I encourage, if you are able, willing, you care about your community, you care about children, to sign up and be a foster parent. They got places like if you're in the Ohio area, they have private agencies like Belfair that will certify you as a child care, as a foster parent.
Give me a second. MM, is that you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, baby.
Okay.
Sorry.
What she's saying sound real good, but this is me being somebody who was actually in the system, like from a young age. It's about the social workers taking the job and not wanting to do their job. I can't explain how many times I didn't been as a kid sitting in front of a social worker telling them what was going on and it being reported by me and my school and other people in the community and they still not do nothing about it. Like, let's just be for real. These social workers don't do their job. Me and my sister then went to school with black eyes and bruises and the school then reported what was going on and the social worker still didn't do anything. Came out to the house, sat there, talked to us, listened to us, took our stories and went back and went on about their day. Like, when I was in the comments talking about what happened with my dad, my I told my dad I wanted to kill myself. He dropped me off at a hospital and left me there. The hospital and the police reported it as abandonment. I had to leave the hospital in the back of a police car. They took me to the Jane Edna building and reported everything. I sat there in the room with like five other kids for hours. No supervision. They came in there maybe one time and offered us some snacks. But other than that, we was just in there sitting there watching Tyler Perry movies. We didn't leave. Well, I didn't leave that place till like 4 o'clock in the morning. They dropped me off at a group home on the west side called West Haven. And when I got there, I called my grandma and I told my grandma what was going on. And my grandma came and got me. They never reported me missing after I ran away. As far as they knew, I was still there. My dad found out that I was staying with my grandma and came and picked me up and took me back to the Jane Edna building, dropped me off outside the front of the Jane Edna building. I had to walk in there and tell them what was going on. And what did they do? They sent me right back to that same group home. And as a kid, at that time, I was like 12, 13. I'm mad at the world. I don't feel like I got nowhere to go, nobody to turn to, nobody listening to me. So now I'm upset. I don't know these people and I'm fighting. When you in the system, you get levels because, like, they tried to jump me this one night because the girl was trying to get initiated into a gang. And in the midst of it, she was supposed to kill me. So she ended up stabbing me. I didn't die. I'm still alive. But all of this took place in the group home. The staff was right there. The staff allowed the girl to come in there with the weapon and everything. So you can't, like, we got to hold people accountable. If you're going to take that job, then you have to be willing to do what the job entails. If you put your, like, it, don't become a social worker if you don't care about the kids. I'm talking about in the Jane in the building. This what took place with me happened in 2012, 2013, and it's only gotten worse since then. It's kids in that building right now having sex in the offices. They in there getting high. They doing whatever they want to do. It is like four different homeless shelters around the corner from that place. It's all type of crackheads and crazy niggas outside walking around talking to the kids, recruiting the kids, all type of stuff. The security guards is in there buying weed from the kids, helping the kids sell their prescriptions. Like, it's crazy. Like, real is real is crazy, and there's no excuse for it. Cause they took that job. They know what they title is, what they supposed to be doing, and they don't do it. Granted, the kids ain't the best kids, but at some point, somebody got to be willing to stand up and do what's right.
So, I just want to say, first of all, I'm sorry that that was your experience. No, children deserve to be protected. And if you were a minor at that time, you said in 2012, and you were a child, you deserve to have somebody in your life that was going to protect you. And you deserve to have social workers in your life that were going to listen to you, that you need when you needed to be heard, and protect you and keep you safe. So if that was your experience, then I personally want to apologize to you, because you should not have to go through that, and no child should have to. I would suggest that, and anybody that's listening in, I would suggest that if you are seeing that, then we have to report it. It's not like, a lot of times when kids are young, they don't make the best decisions, and they might not, it takes, so your frontal lobe is not even developed to you over the age of 25. So your decision making is not all the way there. So I'm saying, if you see things like this, you have to report it, not just to the social worker. The social worker has a supervisor. That supervisor has a supervisor. And ultimately, when a social worker carries out what the courts put in place. So they don't have any real power. It's the courts that have the power. So I say report it to your public official, your councilman, so that a change can really happen and occur.
And
And
Justin, that's what I was trying to tell you. That's what happened, and nothing is happening. They
yeah,
taking.
and sometimes you may not actually see the change, but it may be happening. I
Ma'am,
would
I
say,
hate to
and,
cut you off, but
and
like I
I'm
said,
like I
this
said,
took
I'm
place in
sorry that happened to
2012.
you.
It
Hmm.
only been getting worse since then.
Excuse me.
Literally, the children, they don't act no better. This generation is horrible. But the system has only gotten worse since then. Group homes, when you go to a group home and you in there, if you leave and you don't make it back by curfew, you supposed to be reported missing. They do not report the kids missing. It's called going AWOL. They don't care. They let the kids leave and come back whenever they want to. When the group home that I was staying at, one of the boys that was there left and got killed, and nobody knew about it until it came up on the news. They never reported him missing or anything. He left to go protect his sister and ended up dying. He was supposed to be in the group home accounted for. Without like this stuff been being reported. My grandma went and reported everything when everything was going on. My dad came and picked me up from her house and dropped me back off at the J. Edna building. She was not okay with that. My school, every time we came in school with bruises and black eyes and busted lips, it got reported.
M,
It
can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Why didn't they place you with your grandmother?
I couldn't be placed with my grandma. My sister got placed with my grandma. I got placed with my dad
Well, why couldn't you get placed with your grandma?
because my grandma couldn't take care of both of us. My sister got placed with my grandma. I got placed with my dad.
Okay.
And that's
But
Yeah.
even
understandable.
with that, going through therapy, telling the therapist what was going on in my dad's house, all of this stuff is supposed to get reported, right? Nothing ever took place. It wasn't until I turned 17 and I was like, I can't do this no more. And I decided to run away that stuff was different. The system never helped me. The social workers never helped me. My social worker, the only option she gave me was either you got to go to DH or you got to go to a residential. You got to go to a lockdown facility. I didn't have the option to get rehabilitated to my family, to a different family member.
Cookie, you come in real quick.
I'm talking
Okay.
about, I live in Cleveland
Oh, hold on,
right
Cookie.
now. If I go down there to the Jane Edna building and turn my camera on, it's kids running in and out the building. It's kids in there high right now. Not just high off weed. I'm talking about slumped over, standing up high, like zombies. Like it's bad.
And what do you, let me ask you a question. If you could create a perfect way, if you could have had things different when you was a kid and just knowing the information that you have, what would you have done differently? Like,
It's
well,
not
and
about
I'm
what
not
I could
being
have
funny.
done
I really
differently
am
because
asking a
I was a
question. Like,
child. What
what
I would have wanted
would
to
you
be
have liked to
different,
see done in your situation?
I would have wanted a social worker that actually cared about their job title, that actually
Hmm.
did what their job entailed, that cared to listen and report and act on what was being told to them.
Did I go out? Can y'all hear me?
Give me a second. The crowd feels like you're really taking digs and jabs. Jussie, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I
And
Juicy, it's
mm,
I
juicy,
ain't
and
gonna lie.
I'm
That's
not.
what I'm gonna be honest.
and
I do feel like
and
you
I
came up here to throw jabs and digs
mm,
more than
mhm,
Oh,
mhm,
and I heard you say you
mhm,
work for the community, but it keep being like, well, why couldn't you
mhm.
go with your granny and why you could that this is somebody that's went through something and we don't know what kind of trauma she's dealt with. So what do it matter that is why she couldn't go with her grandmother? I'm just asking you, Miss Cookie.
How old are you?
I'm 25 now.
Okay, I'm 46 years old, right? When no, 45 years old. When I was 17, I think 17 years old, I got pregnant with my son. I don't know where my mother was at. I can't even tell you. But I remember my school calling defects, right? I remember defects supposed to come out and, check on me or whatever so that they could place me in a home for teenage mothers or whatever, right? They never came out. I ended up living with my school secretary. The point that I'm trying to make is we can play this game and act like no, the government, they don't supposed to be the parent. But it's the government, it's the system that comes in and they remove kids sometimes for the good, but for most of the time, it's not for the good. I don't went up against the system. So I'm not telling you what I don't know. I'm telling you what I know. I done been a foster mother for two kids, and I'm telling you, it's horrible. It's horrible. And I'm in the community, I'm in the school, and everything. And when I tell you it's horrible, it is. The only way that, and see, I could ask you a question. Since you know everything that's going on, Miss Juicy, have you ever went to the legislator? Have you ever went and said, you know what? I can't bring everybody with me because you know how our community is. But I'm going to go and I'm going to make a change, try to make a change myself. Have you ever done that? Have you ever said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go to the director of defects. No, they didn't hear me. I'm going to go to the commissioner of defects. No, they wasn't listening. I am going to go to the steps of the governor's office so they can hear me. Have you ever done that? See,
So if
hold
you
on.
want me to
I'm not
answer,
done.
oh, okay,
I'm not done.
okay,
Do I think that you were taking shots at her? Let me tell you how it sounds. Okay, how it sounds like this right here. You asked her why she couldn't live with her grandmother. At that point, right? If you was reading the room, you would have known that she got quiet. So getting quiet should have let you known that okay, maybe she don't want to answer that question, right? You asked her again the same question, right? She responded a little slow, and for two times she said, I had to go live with my father. My grandmother couldn't take care of me. Did you hear the trembling in her voice when she said that?
I
So at
did.
that point, excuse me, at that point, the question should have been off the table. Okay, let me tell you what you just said. She told you everything she went through, but she was a child. And you know what your response to her was? Well, why you didn't go here? Why you didn't go there? Why you didn't do this? Why you didn't do that? How in that how did she know to do all of that? If this little girl going through everything that she's going through, how does she know to go up the chain of command? She's not going to know that. I don't know what you know about the system, but it's horrible. Our babies are dying. Now, if you want to talk about making some changes, then holla at me and let's see what
okay.
we can get
So
done.
can I
Holla at
respond
me.
to what you were
But
saying?
anything else,
Can,
irrelevant.
can I respond to what you're saying?
Your
Um,
choice.
okay. So first of all, I was not throwing a dig at M. At all, not all. I said that she was a child, and I apologize to her personally for what she's been through because it's not right. And as a community partner, and as a person who works in the community constantly with the council people everywhere, I'm all throughout the community, right? Because I'm that person, right? I definitely was apologizing on to her because she was a child. And I stated that in the beginning. This is not an attack. This is let's come together as a community and come up with a real solution for our babies because we can't depend on the government to do it. I'm not a person to say, hey, let's go to the council person and have them do this and do that because they have to be politically correct. I'm saying let's take it back to how we used to do it when it took a whole village to raise a child and that you didn't worry about just your children, but if your kids down the street from your house was hungry, you fed them too. So I'm not a person that's just here talking. I'm about that life every single day. I was in Garden Valley down there when they had the explosion. I walk, I protest, I do whatever I have to do for our community because I love our people. So I'm not this ain't fake for me. This is real life. I didn't come on here. Somebody contacted me and told me about Miss Parker's platform, and so I came on. And I this is what I do. So no, this was not a personal dig. This was me asking a question. I don't have an expectation for a child to ever go get help. No, I don't. It takes us, you, me, instead of walking past people when you see things going wrong, take that child in your house. I have a child in my home that I'm taking care of that I did not birth. So
All I was trying to
I'm
say
not talking
is
nothing.
that humanity that you
And I
stating that you
respect
talking about right
you,
now
Em,
is the
and what you
same
going
humanity.
to.
I'm not no what I'm saying is the same humanity you talking about right now is the same way them social workers need to carry themselves. If
I
they
agree.
did, we wouldn't be in this predicament right
I
now.
agree. I
That
agree
that's all I'm
100%.
trying to get at. The social workers
I
don't
agree.
Mm-hmm.
care.
I
Mm-hmm.
agree with you
It start
100%.
there. The social workers is the boots on the ground. They who
Mm-hmm.
go out to the houses and interview the kids and see stuff firsthand. They know what's going on. They just don't report it correctly. They don't care to because they don't want to do all the extra paperwork. Let's just be for real. This is me speaking from experience. I was in a residential called Belmont Pines in Youngstown for over a year and some months. And being in there, seeing other kids coming there, most of them from Cleveland, they wasn't in there because they were in trouble or had behavioral problems. They were in there simply for placement. They didn't have nowhere else to go.
And that was my point too, is we need more foster parents because you're right. That
It's not
happens.
about more foster parents. We need good
Mm,
foster parents.
We
The
need
foster
good
parents that's
foster
out here
parents, you're
now just
right.
in it
yeah,
for the money.
Yes.
I
Mm-hmm.
The
agree
group
with you.
homes, the group
for the
home that I
money.
was at is called West Haven. It's on like West 116th on the west side, over
Hmm.
by West Boulevard. You can look it up. It was social workers working at the group home that I was at. There was a social worker there the night that I got stabbed.
I think it's been closed now. I think that West Haven got closed because of their
Because of what? Because
practices.
everybody was
Because
running
of
away. Everybody was
because the
leaving.
practices, because of it's a
Everybody was
lot of
over there
different
selling
problems.
drugs. It was a
Hmm.
breeding ground for gang members. They was in
I
there
agree.
getting girls to join the Heartless Queens and shit. I got stabbed because a girl was trying to get recruited. They had
It's
a whole plan. Literally, that app Kick was out.
Hmm.
My roommate at the time was in the group chat with them, and she told me that they were planning on coming back to jump me. And me being me, I sat at the table and waited for him. I want the biggest one. As soon as you come through the door, y'all not about to catch me off guard. And that's just me and my young minded mentality. And I got in a fight with the biggest girl while I'm fighting her. The little one come back behind me and start stabbing me in my back. Now I'm stabbed up because these girls trying to make a name for themselves. I'm not from the west side. I didn't know nobody over there. I was literally in defense mode. And because I got in that fight and I got stabbed, my levels in the system went up and I had to go get put in the residential. My caseworker
that
told me
part.
you got two options, a DH or a residential.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there because they refused to report what my dad was doing.
Listen, I agree with you. I'm not. I know that the system is messed up, and that's why I feel like we have to, as a community, what do we do to solve the issue? Because
You keep
depending
saying
on
go up the
social
chain.
workers,
We can't go up the
I'm
chain. We
not.
got to
I
start at the
didn't just
bottom
say that. No,
and
I'm
work
not
our
even.
way up.
I'm not even. I'm not
We
even.
got to get the bad people out first before we can make any change.
I think
If you
that.
walk in Jane Edna building right now and look at them people and don't feel a type of way, you're a part of the problem. I'm sorry.
So I'm
The
gonna
security
say
guards
that.
don't care. You can walk in there right now. It's kids sitting on the front steps, high as hell.
So I'm gonna say that I don't think that the system is the issue. The is the solution to the problem. I feel like
You
it's
just
our
said go to the
community.
higher ups. That's the system.
No, I said that's one of the things that we can do. It can be reported when things are being done. Like if there's
It been being
secure. No,
reported
this is
though.
what I
That's the
mean. This
thing.
is what I mean when I say that. I'm saying that if it's a security guard that is selling children weed, he needs to be reported.
It's
That's what
not
I'm
just
saying.
one. It's all of them.
If it's all of them, they need to be reported. That's what I'm saying.
And who
But
is they
I
gonna
was
be reported to? Because the rest of the people in the building is
it's a
doing fucked up
crime.
shit too. They all wrong.
So
They
I
all
was
in cahoots with it.
I
Like
was I
I'm telling you, like right
Yeah,
now,
Justy, I
it's
think you should
kids
go look
in
at the
there.
articles. Give me a second, Em.
I'm sorry.
Justy, I really think you should go and read the article.
I do agree with what you're saying. I'm not
It's
saying that the
pretty bad.
system is right. I
It's
just
really
I'm
sickening.
a go. I'm a go. I just want to say one thing before I go. I want to say that I feel like our community, we have to stick together as a community. Until we learn
Absolutely.
how to stick together as a community, we're going to keep going to these we're going to keep having these problems. I'm not saying that the system, I'm saying directly that the system is not the answer, that we have to get back to a place in time where we looked out for one another. And that was my whole purpose and point on coming on here to say anything, is that we have to, me, you, M, Miss Cookie, myself, the people in the chat, we have to get together and we have to create our own systems like the Black Panthers did back in the day when they didn't wait on anybody to feed their kids in their community. They start feeding their
Yeah.
own kids. They start keeping their own community safe. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't want you to get it misconstrued when I say, like, yes, do I know the system? Absolutely. It's not made for us. The system is not made for us. We're made for us. We know what we need, and we need to handle our own things collectively within our own community for ourselves. And that was my point. Again, if I made you feel like that I was coming down on you or I was not sensitive to you and what you've been through, that was not my that was not what I was trying to do. And I want you to know that I'm sorry that you've been through what you've been through, and that, at any time, I just feel like we have to do better as a community as a whole. And that means not holding each other accountable, creating your own resources amongst your people, amongst your friends, amongst the people that you know. I would say this too. I was in Garden Valley um, after the explosion, and I was helping out in the community. And one of the things that really touched my heart was how I seen how much of a community Garden Valley is. All those moms there, they were looking out for one another. They were making sure that everybody got their resources. They were carpooling together to get to where they needed to go. They were making sure that their kids was okay. That's what we need to be doing amongst ourselves in our own community. If you know your neighbor got to work nights and she don't have a babysitter for her kids, and your kids in the house sleeping, you home all day, why can't that kid come over there and you
But
help
they
that
wasn't
mother
doing
out?
none of that before the explosion. They wasn't doing none of that before the
I just
explosion.
seen a community, and I can't talk about what happened before, but I'm just saying
The
that
explosion
that's what I
happened because one of
saw.
they badass kids threw a firework in the utility room.
That's what I've been told.
So like let's just at some point.
It's
Well,
nothing is perfect, but I just say it's about looking out.
first I want to say, can't nobody make me feel no type of way about my past because my past made me who I am. I'm not ashamed
Amen.
to talk about it. It is what it is. It happened, and I went through it, and I got over it. So that's just that. I do feel like
I
you're
feel you.
contradicting yourself though, because when you started, you were
Mm-hmm.
saying report to the higher ups, and now you saying we got to do it as a community. I don't know. What I do
I'm
know
not trying to
is
contradict myself, but I do know that
that's
the
cool.
system
All
is
I
not
know
made
is
for us.
it's not going to change unless somebody do something about the people that's currently working in the Jane Edna building.
What I like about you, Em, I like that you have a voice and continue to use your voice.
She better.
And and I think that you can be the start of change because one, and I'm not being funny, but I'm gonna be really real right now. When you caught the contradiction of what somebody was saying, that lets me know right there that you're very intelligent. That lets me know that you're very sharp with your thinking. I like that you went through what you have went through in your life and it made you a better person, and continue to allow that to make you a better person, and go out and save others that you can. Don't just stop and let it be you in your situation. Go out and help others. And as I stated to you, Miss Juicy, and I'll say
Yeah.
it again,
Hmm.
I love the community. I live in Georgia, but just because I live in Georgia, that does not mean that two people can't get together and say, you know what, this is what's going on. What can we do collectively? Because it's just not in your state. It's just not in Georgia. It's all over what's happening.
Hmm.
So
I
again,
agree.
as I stated before, if you ever want to talk about it, I know I'm I have to guess my name on YouTube or whatever. Talk, call me. I mean,
Yeah,
email me or whatever. I'm on Facebook and everything. But the point being made is what M stated. It's a failing system. And
I agree.
when you talk about the community and what's going on in the community goes back to what? A system. Some people can surpass that system and not get into that system. Some of our people enter into the system and don't know how to get out of the system. And what comes with it? Child protective services, defects. It's a lot of things when I was younger was not going on like it is now. But you can't take away that it's a system thing. And when you first started out, you stated that you can't, how did you say it? You can't expect for the government to raise the children. Be-
Absolutely.
but I don't agree with that. Let me tell you why. Because if you're going to enter into my home and you're going to tell me what I can and cannot do with my children, then you know what? You take them and you raise them.
I
and,
feel
and
like
that's my expectation. And what I'm telling you is what I told the director of defects one time. Because they're going in homes and they're taking these babies out, and these babies are dying in their care. It's more
Mm.
babies dying in defects care than they're dying in their own parents' care.
I don't know about that. I would
It,
say
it, it
this.
is.
I don't
It is.
know about
No,
that.
that's
It
very
it
true.
is.
That is
I
very
don't I
Are
true.
don't
you
I
not
don't
And I
looking
have
didn't
the
at? You
even
not looking at
statistics
the
on
news?
that.
Are you not
I'm
looking
gonna
at
say this.
YouTube?
I'm gonna
and
say
I wasn't
this.
even
I
getting
I
up here
will.
to speak on nobody else's story, but I know for a fact other
No,
people,
and you
other
fine.
other girls that been in the system, who caseworkers then dropped them off to their tricks, who
Mm.
knowing that they was not
That's
their
crazy.
guardians, knowing that what they was about to go do, but
That's
because that was their
insanity.
only way of making money and they didn't want them to be broke, they took them to go do what they had to go do. So
My
I'm just
we
my.
can't fake like the caseworkers not the problem.
and the
I think
caseworkers are
that
the what? What
I
are the
think that we should
caseworkers?
keep the
The
caseworkers out
system.
of our homes and out of our families and out of our personal things. I think we should keep them out of our business. And I feel like we should actually govern ourselves. And that's what I stated when I first came on. I said, yes, if there are some things that some corrupt people, corruption needs to be reported. But I said when I first came on that the government, we cannot expect the government to raise our kids. And I stand on that. And I stand on it.
But you
And I
said we
stand
needed
on
to
business
report
when
it to the
we
government.
need to report. We need to report if you're a government employee and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, it needs to be reported to your higher ups and your supervisors. Absolutely.
But
That's what
that's
I
still the
said.
system.
That's the system, though.
That is, you need to report. If you are a government employee and you work there, then you are held accountable to the government. And I'm saying if you're an employee of a government, yes, it should be reported that they're not doing their job properly. I
Okay,
stand
so
on that
pause.
too.
If I'm a teacher, a second grade teacher at a school, and one of my
Hmm.
students come in bruised up and beat up, who do I report that to?
You're supposed to report it to the police and children and family, and then the police will make a referral to children and family services. That
Exactly.
school is a
So it's going to
mandated
the
reporter,
caseworkers,
and she's
and then
supposed
the
to, yeah,
caseworker
she's
gets
supposed
sent
to
out to
give it to the
investigate, right?
caseworker,
Em
and
and
then the
Justin,
I
caseworker
think
goes out and
give me a
investigates
second,
it.
Justin. Give me a second. Mooey, come in, baby. You've been up here for a second. I seen you. Come on, Mooey.
Hey, Miss Parker. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I was rushing out of work because I wanted to chime in before you shut the live down. Um, well, I'm in Chicago, so I'm not in Cleveland, so I really can't speak in regards to this building. But I know lots of people personally who are fighting for their kids because for disciplining their kids. In public schools here in Chicago, they have social workers that go into the school and tell kids if your parents are at home and they discipline you, actually use the word discipline, that report it. But what they don't tell these kids is you don't have nothing for my black son but a group home. My black daughter,
Hmm.
you don't have nothing but a group home for them because ain't nobody
Hmm.
adopting no black kid.
say it again.
Okay?
Facts.
So
I agree.
here's the thing. They love to come in and take our kids and then turn around so that they can get a check. Because I do know people who are foster parents and they tell them, well, if you put them kids on some medicine, you'll get a bigger check
Say it again.
when
Mm,
them kids don't
that's
even need no
terrible.
medicine and all type of things. So when you say that we need to report, the system is who is breaking our families up in my community because I'm an African American woman. And so in my community, we don't want to see y'all coming because at the end of the day, if we have always had women who maybe abused drugs or had mental instabilities in our community, and we took care of them kids in our community. Now, there might have been some that fell through the cracks, but it's much more of them dying at the hands when the state come in.
Say it again.
There are many more of them dying. We was taking care of our own on the south side, baby. Taking care
Because
of
when the
our
kids
own.
go into the system and we have the group homes and we don't like it there, we to the streets. And then
Yeah.
we fending for ourselves.
Or they let the
I
streets
was
come in and
lucky
take
enough to
y'all.
have another family member that I could run to. But
And everybody don't have that.
I know from being in the group home myself, being around the other kids, they had nowhere to go. They would run away from the group home and go out and be struggling. And when they get hungry enough, they come back to the group home just to get some food. And when they ready to go, they back out again. And they never got reported AWOL, so it was nothing never done about it. They just got to leave and go as they wanted to.
And when you say government employees, baby, them security guards ain't government employees. They hired off the street. You don't know who they is. Half of them people they ain't even ran a background check on and got them working with kids because they don't care. They don't even run regular background checks. Just because you give somebody a job and they pass when you gave them the job, don't mean that you should run it again every 6 months because they're working with children. And a lot of the people in charge are the ones selling off these kids. And that's a fact. They selling them off. And a lot of them are the sickos.
Yeah.
They themselves are doing things to these children. So they're not trying to fix the system. They want the system to stay broken. And for us, what are we supposed to do when we've been fighting the system all our lives? Even for the ones that's not in the system, we've been fighting all our lives. So when you sit here and you say, well, you know, we need to fix the system, baby, we've been trying to fix the system. We barely got some rights as it is.
I don't feel like we should fix the system. I feel like we should govern ourselves. That's what I said.
But a
I
lot
said
of
if
our
you
kids
work,
are being taken away for nothing. That's not a part of governing yourself. Governing yourself means government stay out of my business because I don't need no help. I don't need no aid or nothing else. And on the south side, folks will feed. They will feed other people. It ain't a kid I won't feed. And I don't care if it's the last bit of food in my house. And I don't get not a food stamp, not a check, not a nothing.
I do feel like
But
it's some people in the community like that, but it's a lot of people who are not. And
now
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
tell you
the
the truth.
only,
As I know people who are foster parents, right? And I know a couple right now, and I have been friends with them over 20 years. They got 2 foster kids, okay? They're brother and sister. The foster people lied, did not tell them the struggles that these kids came from. Okay? So you put these kids in these people's house, you did not tell them the truth about the background of the kids, and then the kids started showing symptoms of touching on other kids. So the little boy can't be left alone with the little girl. They did not notice. They was not aware that these children had been abused or that the little boy had been abused. They did not know this. So, you know, as me being a mother, I got 4 of my own kids. And like I said, I'll feed any kid. Okay. Now, grown person, you might be on your own, but a baby, a kid, I'm a feed. I'm a feed a kid. It's too many lazy grown folks out here for me. I'm just gonna say. However, I'm a feed a baby. Okay, a kid, I'm gonna feed them all day long, and a kid is over 18. Okay, because my 4 babies, most of them is well over 18, and they still babies because their mind is still young. They really shouldn't be making their own decisions. But what do you do in those cases? What are we gonna do with that?
which part? When you said it's a child that's under 16, it's a minor
And your
that
feet,
are
you know,
sexual.
I would take in any kid, but no, these the little boy is under 7. He's under 7 years old. And they don't want to send, you know, to send the kids back. So they're trying to work through it. But I have children. I can't just be taking no foster kids into my house and exposing my kids to things my kids ain't been exposed to. Because what about if a person ain't honest?
Yeah.
And they were not honest with them.
I agree with you on that too. But I think that that's why we have to do things. We have to be better parents. Like we have to be better parents. We have to help other parents that are young parents. I was a young parent. Had my first
Correct.
child at 17. I was a young parent. Don't think for one second I'm on here judging and I haven't been through stuff. I have a story. I have my own story. What I'm
Yes,
saying
ma'am.
is at 17 years old, I was a parent. but I had other women around me that helped me be a good mother. You know, I wasn't perfect, but I had other women. I had a tribe of women. We don't give back to one another. We don't help other women when they have been through something or we see them going through something. Nowadays, we have this mentality, oh, it ain't me. I ain't worried about him. I'm only worried about my household. No, but your household, the next door neighbor household affects my household. If our kids go
Right.
to the same school, if our kids are growing up in the same neighborhood. So all I'm saying, and my whole purpose and point was, we got to get back to loving us and being there for one another. And if you know something that another mother don't know, teach her and educate her. Show her. I know people who've gotten their kids taken away from them because they didn't know how to properly make milk and the baby was malnourished. She thought she was doing it right. It only took somebody to come in and say, hey, baby girl, you got this is how you mix the Similac. You don't add this much water or the baby's not going to get the nutrients. It only takes somebody that really actually teaching somebody else something to help somebody else do it. I was not born with no silver spoon in my, and I had my own struggles. I was homeless at 21 years old. But I know about the system because I've been there too. But I decided to be a mom and really and find my own tribe of people. Sometimes your tribe won't be the people that's related to you by blood. Sometimes you got to create your own tribe. Sometimes you got to find your own community and you got to make that community for yourself. That's all I'm saying. We have to get back. We cannot rely on the system that has always shown us that they don't care nothing about us to help us. We have to help one another. And it is a community problem. It's not, oh,
Him
I'm
come
good
back.
now.
My bad. Come back in. Sorry for
Now,
cutting you
I
off.
do agree with it being a community problem. One thing I will say is that some of the young people of today, and I also had my children young, I was married young, and I did have a village around me, and a lot of older women, to depart advice to me, and what I should be doing with my children and with my family, being a wife, and things of that nature. Um, what I have found is that this day and age, a lot of the young people they're not here to take no advice. But a lot of them, their
Mhm.
heart is so hardened because of what have happened to them previous. They can't.
That's
They
true.
scared to listen to nobody. Nobody's ever really
Nobody.
genuinely cared.
Marie,
Yeah,
hold that
I
thought you just
agree.
said. Amanda,
Yes, ma'am.
hold on. Hold that thought, Marie, that you just had. Amanda, come in real quick.
Hey, Miss Parker, how y'all doing?
Hey, baby.
I'm at work, so I'm trying to. I joined in on you on a break, and I got stuck here listening to this topic. So real quick, the system that we have in place is a scare tactic for younger mothers, right? I I'm a younger mother. I'm only 33. I was a teenage mom. My wife had our children really early, and I mean, a cold, a flu, a bump on the head. We were afraid to go to the hospital with our children because we've been taught over the years that invite the system into your life to be able to question your kids, take your kids, and things like that. I do believe that the parents that's showing the neglect to the children that end up in these situations, right? They should be held accountable. Okay.
Mhm.
However, I don't think the report word Jew is the correct word because, for instance, we talking about a police officer pulls you over, he used force. What are you going to do? Call the police on another police officer? They're going to protect each other, right? Every organization, doesn't matter where you work, they have a protection. They protect their own, right? But I think exposure is the correct word to use because you have those higher
Okay.
ups, M, and I know M, you said who are you going to report it to? Who are you going to report it to? We don't need to report shit. At this point, if the higher ups are involved in it, one thing the top of an organization hate is bad light. Okay. I can't tell you exactly where I work at. I don't work for the government or anything like that because I don't know who's watching this. But I know for a
Mhm.
fact if I was to go in on my VP of my organization right now on Miss Parker's show and expose him if he's doing negative things, that light alone would be on our local news channel here in Mississippi.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's not report you, M. We can't report it because again, they're gonna sweep that shit under the rug, right? they're gonna make that disappear. But what you all doing right now on this platform with Miss Parker and exposing them. Don't be afraid of exposure because you may be out that situation now, but you may be able to save other children who's going through the same path that you went through. And my last
That's
point, Miss
why I
Parker,
came up
because I
here to
my last
tell my story. She was talking about reporting. I know it ain't nobody to report it to.
I mean, because that's the common thing to say. Okay, you see something that's going wrong. If it's not right, report it. Okay, but this is a situation where reporting it, as we know, is probably going to be swept under the rug. So now it's exposure, right? But my last point is, it's going to take a village. I'm originally from Tennessee. My mom was not always there. Okay, she was not. My grandmother is 85. She'll be 85 this year. She raised me. So she raised 5 kids, and she turned around and had to raise her grandchild again. But it took a village with me. I was hard headed, didn't want to listen. But my neighbor could see me doing something and hold me accountable. I never went hungry. If my
Mhm.
grandmother was at work, I can go down the street and get a sausage and biscuit and be just fine. I think
Mhm.
nowadays we're afraid of what these kids have been through. So our mindset is, okay, I got kids of my own. I can't take on no more responsibility. I can't take nobody else's kids in. Okay, we may not, but we need to get it out there that somebody else may can, and we got to make it okay. Their kids' trauma that they're going through, I think, is systems in place with therapy and different things that they can do to be able to have those outlets. What we do is we get them. We don't get them no help. We just get them from the group homes and from their parents or from CPS without any help, right? And expect them to be okay. No, they're gonna lash out. They're gonna have issues because
Mhm.
we're not helping them cure. But I commend you for your strength. I'm praying for you. Continue to speak your word, Miss Parker. I'm always on you at work, girl. I hope I don't get fired. If I do, you're going to give me a job, Miss Parker.
I
I'm
got you,
always
sis.
watching
I
you.
do.
Continue to spread the word. And ladies, what we're doing up here, we got to keep it positive. It's good. It's a good light. And I'm going to make sure I throw this Miss Parker channel to my VP and see if there's something that we can do for our local organizations around Mississippi. But just keep doing what y'all doing, but do it as a union, okay? It looks so
Yeah,
much better when we do it together,
I
okay?
Yeah.
agree. I like that you said exposure. That makes a
It's
lot
not
of sense.
it's not report.
You
Reports
right.
get shredded up, okay? And I
You
know
right.
as in management right now, if somebody come and tell me, hey, I reported this, and I'm like, I didn't see it on my desk. Well, of course I didn't because that's Joe Bolo's friend. I'm not gonna see it. Reports get shredded up. Exposure on the internet cannot go until you delete it. You get what I'm saying? So just keep
Yep.
doing what you ladies are doing. God bless you all. Thank you, Miss Parker, for allowing me to join.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate you always. You
Yep.
always welcome. Nikki, come in before I let Mui finish her thought.
Okay, I just wanted to come in. Hi, Miss Parker. Hi, chat. Um, the lady at the top right before the lady that just spoke is like she literally told my whole story. Like we grew up as like latchkey kids, literally. I remember like the same like her struggles and stuff. My mom, she wasn't doing great either at the end of the day, and I was raised by my grandmother. Literally, she would throw watermelon parties, backyard, all of that for all the neighborhood kids. But when she had to go and do her little working, at the ball to make her money and stuff like that, she trusted in me to be with neighborhood. Miss Gertrude and them. They went to aunties. I have no aunties that
Mhm.
day, which is me and grandma. They would run the block parties. It's like I'm gonna
Mhm.
give you money for skating. Like, it was a village to raise a neighborhood. And I just wanted to come in and agree with that because, and I also wanted to say, like, I thank you for your confidence and I thank you for, telling your story because let me tell you something. There's a lot of people that want to tell similar stories that just don't have the bravery to do it. So I just
Yep.
wanted to come in, being that the link was there and just support the channel and just support Miss Parker and everything she do. And, and support y'all ladies and saying that a lot of y'all was saying a lot of good thoughts.
Yep.
Thank you, Nikki.
Yep.
Thank
And
you.
it
Uh,
just takes us having conversations like this to make change happen. I
It
mean,
does. It
even
does.
when
It
we
does.
may not agree with each other, but and
Because
it and but it's these conversations that brings about change.
if I
it
could
does.
just say one thing, like I was embarrassed, like, I didn't the way I was raised with my mom, and way how my grandmother had me, it was two different things. And my grandmother, she had me really, really spoiled. So to tell my story about my mom and waking up with seeing like Coke bottles and shit like that on the dresser and couldn't even go
Mm,
outside because she was asleep all fucking day. It was like they was like, oh no, you never had. They never really happened to you. And I'm just like, I just would, keep my mouth shut when I would hear the horror
yeah.
stories and things of my friends
Mm,
and stuff. So I had the whole porch full of kids. I would leave my Barbie dolls
mm, mm,
outside
mm,
for my friends to play with because I knew they went through similar stories, but I couldn't tell them that I was that same kid that went through that
mm,
before my grandmother took me. But when my grandmother took me, she didn't have the time to really take me in. She trusted the neighborhood. So it's like, running past the block, the white truck. I remember the white truck and them stories and stuff like that. But it was like we had a lot of strong women watching, and that's why I admire Miss Parker because she remind me of a lot of older, like not older, but like cousins and stuff. Like they used to be like literally like watching and stuff. Like, look, ain't nothing happening over here. Bye. Get on up out of here somewhere. That type shit. It was really, crazy because you would hear stories, but when I had a child, hold on.
You went out, Nikki Bay.
Yeah, my daughter just came in here showing me her little spunky doll. One second, baby, I'm on live. It's like I just looked at people around me to just make sure I was good, and they knew I had a key to my own house. I'm literally like 11, 12 years old. 11, 12 years old with nobody in the house but me and the protectors around me. And I look at cases like this, like I look at cases that we all cover and we actually like have a soft spot for. And I'm like, oh my God, like I could have been a victim as well. And that kind of, you know what I mean? When you look back at stuff like that, but thank God for the village around me and thank God for the people that, just was beautiful souls.
When I
Louis.
first saw the title, I clicked on
Yeah.
this video fast as hell because I was like, "Oh!" I commented. I said, "Oh my god, I'm so happy y'all talking about this. This is an ongoing conversation in this community for as long as I can remember." I'm talking about we. I talk about this with other people all the time because it's so crazy. It's and it's like it's out there. It's blatant. It's not hidden at all. Everybody know about it. This is like common knowledge in Cleveland. I'm not even gonna fake with you. So when I seen it being talked about, yes, I was happy. Let's have this conversation. Finally, it need to be publicized. It's not about reporting or am I echoing?
You are. You got something else in the background or something, or you got your Bluetooth headphone in?
No. Is
Okay,
it
you
still
ain't.
echoing?
No.
Okay, it stopped. Um, I was happy that this was being talked about. This need public attention. This need the light to be shined on it. Like this has been going on for as long as I can remember. Even before I was in the system, I'm sure it was happening. But it has gotten worse over time. My whole point of getting up here was to share my story, my experience going through it, because it's real and it need to be talked about. It's nobody that we can report it to and talk about it here. We just talk about it with each other.
Yeah. Thank you, Em. I appreciate you so much for pulling up. Because it's about a lot of insight. I like what Justin said. Mooey came up here, put some icing all the way on the cake. You know what I'm saying? Miss Cookie came up here and laid it down and y'all brought insight to me. Some things that I can start doing to make change. And by building a village, and that's why I kind of started my sisterhood with the riders, so we can start doing this and start learning how to be more of a village and taking care of each other and learning stuff like this, educate one another on things like this. And so I appreciate so much because I hadn't even got to read most of the story or what the woman said about her nephew. So the insight that you gave, I knew you wasn't lying about anything you said because everything you said, the woman's nephew went through the same exact thing. The same exact thing. It was so much. She sent me so much, y'all. It's crazy. I haven't even got to get through like nothing but 5% of it. So This is what it's about, Y'all using y'all voice. You just don't know how powerful and impactful this was. Um, just see your and everything you said, that's your thoughts, it's your opinion, and you have that right to feel the way you are. And you right, we don't have a village. And maybe sometimes how we say things a certain the first time it goes over our
Mhm.
heads and we think that, you know what I'm saying, nah, she's wrong. Because at first I felt like jabs was being thrown, but once she kind of explained, and she's more boots on the ground than I am. So who am I to take what Just See and Miss Cookie's doing for their community, going to legislation, going in front of governors, and different things like that. I haven't done. I'd be lying. So salute to you, Jussie, for doing what you do in your community because I'm yet to do it for mine. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
big shout out to you. Shout
And
out
Miss
to Miss.
Parker, can I just chime in real quick, just real
Hold on
quick?
one second. One
Oh,
second.
okay.
Nikki,
Okay, no
shout
problem.
out to you for helping in your community, feeding and stating that I got 4 kids. I don't get food stamps, but ain't a kid gonna go hungry around me. That's a village. You get what I'm saying?
No,
Impacting
ma'am. I don't take no
somebody's
custody.
life.
No custody. But every kid that's around me, every kid that knows my kid, know anything, I will feed any kid. You could just be what I know. I can go get a plate from Miss Bowie. I can go over there and I know it's gonna be something, whether it's a lunch meat sandwich, and some chips, or kid stuff I got around, just around the house and things. But you know, my
You
son is
saved the
21.
child. You saved the
I
child.
saved the child. Yeah, I'm my 21-year-old. I still got his friends and kids that know him, or kids that's at the little civic center that he be at sometimes, and they be like, "Well, Miss Moody, my mom out of town," or just things like that. And now, grown people, it's some grown people I'm gonna help, but kids are different because a lot of what M was saying, and I really do appreciate her for speaking out, for other young people and things like that, because a lot of the young people are quiet, even when they have experienced things. They never speak out because who are you going to report it to? But a lot of them never speak out publicly. Um, so definitely like very grateful for you speaking up, you know, um, and not being afraid to share, because that's not a place, where I'm in Chicago, but, we have struggles here, and like I said, we have people who I was always taught you don't let the streets have your kids, right? As being raised by my grandmother, the streets couldn't have us. You know, my dad raised us as a single dad, and my grandmother helped. So, and it was four of us. So by this being this, we you didn't have an option to just not be. You didn't have a option to not listen, or you know it wasn't nobody at the school was saying if your parents discipline you, but at the end of the day, the streets couldn't have us. The streets couldn't have us. So being in Chicago, and raising your kids, how dare you say I can't discipline them, but you will let the streets have them if they come down there to that building y'all got. The streets can come in there and willingly take them. We have to draw the line someplace. But a lot of times it's not, we suffer for the things that we also don't know as parents. A lot of parents don't know that you can sign a paper at the school that social workers can't talk to your child without you being present. Sometimes that needs to be the case because I'll be honest with you, Miss Parker, here, I know more people who kids done been took for innocent reasons, and there was no reason for you to take these kids at all, than I do of them being taken in a case where they was actually needed to be taken.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nikki,
But
come
I
in.
do appreciate you
Come
opening
on.
up the panel. I got to get to my kids. So I hope everybody have a good evening. And Miss Parker, I do try to pop in, and even sometimes I do listen when I'm at work.
Okay, it's
So
nice seeing you,
I
Movie. I
always
see you pop
do.
out the sector, and I was like,
Yes,
oh.
ma'am. Yes, and I said I'm gonna just start dropping down, even if it's just to say hi, because I do be listening in. So
I
everybody
miss
have a
you.
good evening, and I hope everybody be blessed.
Thank you,
And
Mooney.
I
Um, Nikki, go ahead and jump in, baby, and then I'm gonna talk to him.
Okay, I had basically wanted to say something like to Just Shoe. I believe her, like, that was her name. Like she's like coming in my opinion, like from a newer generation. But back in the days when I was growing up, I it was no diapers going on. I don't remember any of those people or services or even things that was getting called. Like, and I'm 42 years old, so and I ain't seen crazy things. And I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, born and raised, but I'm in PA now. But it wasn't a lot of that stuff. I didn't even realize that those type of things was happening until like my cousin dealt with that with her children, and I'm like, wow, like I'm sorry because like she, the panel member said it was light work. There was no reason for them to come in like that, and I'm just like, really, they be out there like that? It was really sad, like because she went through a lot to get her kids back, and I felt so bad for her. So coming from the newer generation and looking at people like that, like as far as referral and help and stuff like that, I can understand like where she's getting at. But when you talking about the Joneses and how it was back in the streets, man, it was like survival of the fittest. That's all I just wanted to chime in and just say just now and just give respect and just say I love your panel
Thank you, Nikki. I
and
love you
all the
too.
women that spoke.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it was a good panel.
Yes,
Wow,
ma'am.
I'm so sorry that that happened to you. Reading um this story is just like mind blowing. And when you came in, it was like I've been there, and I'm still reading, and still got so much more to read about what's happening to those children up there. It's crazy. It's sickening. It's something I've never read and heard before. Which I know we read about corruption in the CPS, but my God, how is M today?
And today is good. I mean, I'm still living through it. I still got other people, like friends from back then, that went through similar situations, and we still talk about it to this day, because it is traumatic. It's stuff that you see that stick with you. It don't really go nowhere. You just gotta continue to move and continue to push forward. But like I said, it's been getting worse, and it's to the point now where people is talking about it on social media, during the day to day. Like, them kids is running that building.
They said.
Literally, the kids is running the building. The caseworkers don't care. They in there having sex in the offices, getting high, doing whatever they want to do, and it's just cool. They all downtown acting bad, just doing stuff, and they don't have no real outlet and no real place to go, because like I said, the group homes, they don't care either. The foster parents, they don't care either. They let the kids do whatever they want to do. They leave when they want to, come back when they want to. It just, I don't know, it's like it's kind of normalized now, and it's weird. And it's, I got other people, I know other people that have been through stuff that I would try to get them to come up here and share their story, because half of theirs is worse than mine, honestly. Like I
Wow.
said, I know caseworkers was dropping girls off to go meet they tricks. Like, caseworkers was cool with they pimps. They was communicating with girls pimps as if they was their guardian.
Yeah, I see
Like,
that.
that
Already.
is crazy.
Mm. Did you ever witness any sexual abuse?
I haven't witnessed it, but I heard about it. And the person that told me, I definitely believe her.
Yeah.
I definitely believe her. Because from my experience being in that building, it could have happened. It could have happened. When I tell you, my very first day in that building, when I left the hospital, they took me there. I was in the room with like 5 other kids. Some of them was older, some of them was younger, but we was in that room by ourselves for hours. It's a couch in the room and a TV, and we sat in there. The lady came in there, gave us some chips and stuff, and left back out. We never seen that lady again. And we was up all night. I didn't leave there till like 4 o'clock in the morning, and the other kids was still there when I left, waiting for placement. So And I know in that room, the conversations that was had in that room, anything could have went down, and nobody would have knew, cause wasn't nobody in there watching us.
They said that the kids, there was a lot for a while that they was leaving the children in the building by themselves. So the kids was fending for themselves and going out and prostituting and
Yes, it's like
doing other things, bringing
it's a
drugs back, guns in the building. So yeah.
and it's not just that building. It's like that in the group homes and in the foster homes too. I got stabbed up in the group home. Like y'all,
Hold
like
on,
they supposed
hold
to
on
be.
1 second, Em. Hold that thought. Rocco, who's trauma bonding? I'm not trauma bonding with him at all. Everybody knows my past. I've never been ashamed of my past. I'm doing a story on the Jane Edna building. You're saying I'm trauma bonding. I don't know who ain't never been to a job, and they know my past. You know what I'm saying? I never said that. And M definitely is in trauma bonding with me because I've never been in a building. My kids have never been in a building or nothing. So, I don't know where you even came from, and even said what? What he say? Let me see what he said after that. He kept saying trauma bonding. You had kids in the system, and so did I. Um, all due respect. All due respect, it's no respect giving because this is not my story. This is M's story, and this is subscriber's nephew story who had took a life of um, another child that was in the building. So yeah, Rocco came to throw slugs at me, you guys. See, that's what people do. Give me a second. People sit back and they be rocking out with other people and they don't like you. So what they do is listen to you, stay in your clouds, even though they don't like you, they'll listen. And they'll come back and try to use your past against you. And ain't a motherfucking thing you could say to me, Rocco, that's gonna hurt my feelings. My kids are fine. My kids are great. I am fine. I am great. And I'm not ashamed of a motherfucking thing I went through in my past because my past don't define who I am today, okay? It just shows you why we are so lost and stuck in why the community will never have a village. This girl doesn't have children. I don't think she does. But I ain't ashamed of nothing. And that's a lot of people's problem because a lot of people ain't going to come on her and tell you a fuck thing that they've been through. They're not going to be honest about a damn thing that they've gone through or been through. Get on her and act like they live in a White House with a pretty picket fence. So you can get the fuck on respectfully and disrespectfully. Sorry, Em. Hey, Miss Cookie, what's going on?
Hey, first of all, he's talking about whoever that is talking about trauma bonding. You need to know what that means. First of all, Miss Parker is not the abuser. So by Miss Parker not being the abuser, there's no way that she's trauma bonding M. So for whoever made that comment, go back and research the definition of what trauma bonding is, and you will know that you're all the way wrong. See, that's the problem right there. When people try to be honest and be real about situations, and that goes back to that lady, Juicy or whatever, so forth. This is what happens when you try to pull the community together. You try to be honest about what's going on. You try to come up with a solution or resolution to the problem. You have people like that. Trauma bonding, Miss Parker is not the abuser. So how was she trauma bonded? Go back and read the definition of what trauma bonding means, and then whoever that is would have never made that comment.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad that people try, and I like what you said, Miss Parker. People try to take your past, right? And they try to use it against you to make you look like you the bad person. But you know what? And I'm gonna say this, and I don't know you that well, but Miss Parker, when I tell you, listen. When they said Miss Parker coming on, or I hope I'm not pronouncing it right, Rock coming on. Guess what? Cookie is on there. This a thing right here. You can take my past. You can take Miss Parker's past. You can use it against us. But let me tell you something. That made Miss Parker the woman that she is today. That made Miss Cookie the woman that she is today. And guess what? I'm stronger. I'm better. I'm healing. And guess what? While I'm healing, I'm able to heal others.
Mm.
And that's what people fail to realize when you're trying to take a person past. Okay, and what? I had 4 kids. I got 4 different baby fathers. And what? Because you know what? I didn't know when I was younger that I was looking for love from my father and he wasn't there.
Mm.
I didn't know that. Miss Parker may have been on drugs. It may be something that she was suppressing, some hurt, some pain. But guess what? Cookie can go out today and tell a young girl, you don't have to be like me. You don't have to go through what I went through because you went through. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I had to gain knowledge that you know what? If nobody else loves Cookie, God loves Cookie.
Mm.
So you can use the past against a person. But guess what? Look at Miss Parker today. Look at her. She changing lives. For that
They
person
fail
who
to
made that comment,
realize.
are you changing lives? That
They fail to
made me
realize that
mad.
we lived through it and we still living.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. We made it through what a lot of, if I told my story of what I've been through, molestation. But guess what? I go to therapy every Thursday and I'm getting through it. My son punched me in my eye. I went through so much. But I put that makeup on and I went to the courts and said, help me save my son. You
Mm.
don't know what people been through. But at the end of the day, I was able to pick myself back up like him. It's not always easy, but I made it. I made it
Amen.
through it.
Mm.
Miss Parker made it through it. Because if she didn't, we wouldn't know who you are. I wouldn't be here right now. So people need to watch. Stop throwing stones at people. Because guess what? You never know when you may have a story. And you have to reach out to Miss Parker and ask her, Miss Parker, can you help me put my story on? Can I tell my story? This is very therapeutic for me. Because guess what? I listen to Em and everything that she said she been through. Have I been through everything she been through? No. But have I been through similar? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. You don't, people just need to stop. Like that really, like, I'm sorry that I got emotional or whatever, but it really did something to me.
Yeah.
Because don't use my past against me. Look at where I came from and how I'm trying to help others.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry, but that just, it
Now
really
you
upsetted me. It really upsetted me because people
called me.
don't
I
know your
called it, and I
story.
didn't know what they said. You know, when they said trauma bonding, and I didn't know what they mean. And I don't want nobody disrespecting him
No,
because
no, you're not the
the
abuser.
children.
So you're,
Yeah. And just
if
people,
you go
this is
back
why
and read
people don't
the,
come up and speak up, Miss Cookie. This is exactly why our youth don't come and speak up. You know what I'm saying? Comments like
yeah,
that, people like that
yeah,
will never come together because it's always one apple that spoils the whole bunch. One apple that spoils the whole bunch for anything and everybody.
hmm,
Due to them not being
trauma
happy. When you do stuff like that, you're the one unhappy. And
you're
I will
unhappy. Yep.
you would not make me you would not make me feel like you. I'm sorry that your life, whatever you're going through, I'm praying for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't praying against you, nothing for your downfall. You know what I'm saying? May God help you, and I wish you nothing but the best. But you know what I'm saying? Other than that, y'all can't break me. Y'all can't
Mm-mm.
break me.
Mm-mm.
Thank you, Big Mama.
Miss
Mm.
Parker, I always say this right here. If you were gonna break me, you would have broke me 10 years ago when I couldn't see my way through, when I did not know how I was gonna make it, when I was trying to, and this what, oh my God, when I tell you, when you talk about defense, when I'm trying to hold on to my kids and I'm sleeping in my car at the police precinct and I'm praying, God, please help me. Please help my kids. God, I don't know what to do. And I'm trying so hard. And when the chief of police for DeKalb County came in and he came over to the car, because I guess somebody told him I was sleeping in my car, I begged that man. I said, please don't call defects. Because one thing, like somebody said on the panel, in black community is told that defects will take your kids away from you and you will never get them back. And I begged him, I said, please don't take my kids. I said, let me show you something, and can you please help me? I took him to my apartment and I showed him what was going on. Within 20, less than, I ain't even gonna say 24 hours, that guy helped me. So the thing about it is, when people, I always say this, when people speaking, make sure you know what you're talking about. And if anything, people should have been showing em love. It should have been a lot of hearts in the chat for showing em love. Do you know how much courage it takes to tell a story of what you've been through?
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot to say, this is my past. It takes so much. And for her to come up there and to tell her story, and you know what? If people read the room, you can tell that she's healing because she was able to say it more than one time, more than one time, more than one time. She was able to put it out there, and she wasn't scared. But see,
Mm-hmm.
people so quick to be judgmental. People so quick to say something. And I want to say this to black women because we do it to each other all the time. And that lady Juicy, you may not have thought you was doing it, but self-consciously you were. When somebody may not been through a situation, or when they have, or when they sharing something, you want to ask a question, be mindful of how you ask the question. Because I'm black, so I can only speak for black women. We have a tendency to ask the question in a very, how would I say, it's not aggressive, but in a way of like you trying to prove a point. You can't prove no point to her. You know why? Because she's able to tell her story. And maybe sometime maybe she didn't know that she was doing it, and she apologized, and I respect that. But that's another thing, Miss Parker. We have to stop doing that to each other, and understand, if I'm talking to you, Miss Parker, and you talking, we having a dialogue, and I may ask you a question that may be touchy, and I notice that you didn't answer, move away from it. Let the person come back and talk about it if they want to talk about it. You get what I'm saying?
That's true, because we don't know what
I'm
kind of, we don't know if M's over that. Not saying you're not M, but you know what I'm saying. The fact that my sister got to get raised by my grandmother, and I got put in the hands of our father who abused me. So I get it. Once you put it out there, I definitely get it. So it's all kind of ways that could have went asking sensitive questions. So I very much do respect it and get it.
I'm so sorry, Miss Parker,
It's
but
okay.
that
Stop
it's
apologizing.
just, I'm sorry, but that, I guess for me that's a touchy feeling because I'm gonna say this right here. I was on it is Shane Rock. I hope I'm pronouncing his
Thank
name
Rob.
wrong. Right. Shane Rock. Okay, I was on his podcast, and I remember when I came up on his, and I remember when the social worker, and people may know because I said this before, she came to my home, right? And she told me, she said, I thought you were going, I guess because of the call, she said, I thought you was going to be a bitch, right? And when she said it, Miss Parker, it hit me in my heart because I'm already taking care of my kids by myself. I'm a young parent. I got 3 kids and I ain't even 30 yet. And I had to pull back strength and say, did she just say that to me? Yes, she did. So you know what I said? Everybody don't think, what I'm saying, right off like that. I said, you know what? Since you're going to come in here and tell me you thought I was going to be a bitch, I need you to help me out because you're either going to help me or I'm going to report you. It's one or the other. I said I need my Georgia Power bill paid. I need my gas bill paid, and I need some bunk beds for my kids. How can you make that happen for me? This is not what I'm telling you. I got receipts to show this. That lady made it happen because you know what? She didn't want to get reported because she knew that she came off wrong to me. She knew what she said wasn't right. So that's why, again, people just need to be mindful. And I'm like I said again, I apologize, but that got me emotional when people just speak and don't know what they talking about. Know what you're talking about before you speak.
Yeah, that's true. Mm, 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 mm. Thank you for coming up, Miss Cookie. I appreciate you. I do. I love your intake on all of this. I actually love all you ladies input and intake. I appreciate all of y'all today. M, will you be busy tomorrow around the same time?
No, I'll be free.
I would love for you to come back up. I want to finish it off and do a part two because I didn't get to finish reading a lot of stuff that I
I'll
can't believe.
definitely come back, and I'll try to get some of my friends to come up too because I know they got stories as well. And
Yeah,
I do
please
want to
do.
say thank you for the people that was defending me, but I want to say I'm okay. I would have never got up here if I wasn't confident in myself, and I got boundaries. I know how far to take it and where to stop, and I'm cool. It ain't on me, it's in me. I went through this stuff. I lived this stuff, and I'm still alive. Like it ain't. Can't nobody say nothing that's gonna make me feel a type of way about my past. It's my past. It's
Yeah.
my story to tell.
Yes. Yeah, my email's right here. Hit me up so I can shoot you my number and we can chop it up. I would love to
Okay,
chop
for
it
sure.
up with you. Okay. Grab that email and Miss Cookie again, thank you so much for pulling up with me today. This was interesting. It was very much needed. Very, very much needed. Not just for us, but I think so many other people that are scared to speak out, people that are fighting the system themselves right now, and we gotta start having more conversations like this. Thank you, Shacey. I appreciate you, sister. Thank you. This was a lot. Reading about the Jane Edna building was a lot. Shout out to the subscriber that said she's just not ready to talk about her part, and her nephew, um, that she lost through the Jane Edna building. And remember the clip I played you guys of all those lives at the Catawba County, 45 lives lost in the child care system. 45. That's a lot. Coming from them snatching children out of a home, but they die in your care, not in the mother or the father's care, but in your care. And I always show this to show proof of it happening. I went to his funeral, 1 year old Kimani. He lost his life in the hands of CPS. Seeing this baby in that casket, this baby in that casket, and nobody has answers for the mother, nobody has answers for the family. They were sweeping his death under the rug. They wanted her to grieve and move on without asking them anything.
Oh,
It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I hadn't been to a funeral since my mother died
Oh, this way.
in
Go back to
2022.
this way. Yeah.
So, yeah, seeing this just breaks my heart with the little angel thing on his head. It breaks you. It makes you see things totally different. His baby's everything to me. His story is everything to me. And I will continue to push out these stories on behalf of Kimani, and all the other children out here forever and always. I love you so much for your strength, your courage. You made me feel so strong today. Um, Stuff like this encourages me, You have no idea how much you just motivated me and encouraged me to keep going, keep fighting, and start doing more.
Yes, I love you. I love this platform. I've been watching the whole Naziah case. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you,
We
TT.
need more people out here like you. Soon as I seen the title, I clicked it and I said, "Oh my God, I'm so happy you talk about this." We need the light shone on this situation some more because it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely out of hand, and I love how you told me They've said nothing. They've said nothing, Jamila, to Brianna. It was somebody that reached out to Brianna saying that they know how her baby passed away, and there's got to be some heartbreaking stuff. And she's been calling CPS and trying to set up meetings, and I don't know how that's going, but yeah, she's been keeping in touch with me. And it's another parent that their baby passed away with the same DCB, the same child care people. And thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much for pulling up on the panel with your insight. Um, So it's another mother, and it's not easy talking about your child passing away. Everybody's not strong to come and tell their story yet. So whenever she's ready, I gave my platform. It's available for them when they're ready to talk, and I'll be here for them. I'm in very much support of those mothers, and I hate that that's happened. And when it's your child, I've never lost a child, so I can't say I understand or I feel them because I don't, but I know it hurts. Miss Cookie, thank you again for pulling up, sister. You um y'all just sees in the chat, man. Thank you, Jesse. Man, Cookie, you and Jesse really opened up a different lane here today, and definitely came through with so much courage, and I appreciate her so much. I'm gonna do a part 2 tomorrow so I can finish reading and reading some stuff about her nephew. And shout out to the subscriber that sent me this story, and prayers to you and your family as well. Anything else, Missy? Anything you want to close out with, love? Cookie. I think Cookie's doing some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? She might have thought she was down. I don't know. Shout out to you guys. Just see, I got your email. I will be emailing you later. I definitely want to connect with you. Everybody has a difference of opinions. We're all gonna agree to disagree, but does that mean that we start disliking or nothing? I don't. Just like with these cases we talk about, we don't agree on everything that I say or other people say, and that's okay. But it's not an argument. It's not I don't like her anymore. We have to start being adults about conversations. We got to start listening to gain understanding about certain conversations, especially conversations that we are just not immune to. If you haven't lost your kids, if you haven't been in a home, it's okay not to, you know what I'm saying, not to be able to dialogue. So just sit back and listen and gain understanding. And then let's see what we can do to help Miss Cookie or Jesse or anybody in our community. See a kid, ask them, are they okay? You see something, say something. It is up to us to start making changes because we see with them, they're not. So I understand what Jesse's saying. What are we going to keep pointing the finger? Are we going to keep pointing the finger? But we're doing nothing but complaining. Baby, you are more than welcome. I love you. Again, I love our youth with courage. You don't know what you've done for the next child to be able to come and tell their truth and to know it's okay. It's okay. I've been through some things, so I know it's okay. And for those, again, that try to knock me off my pedestal of being a recovering addict, not going to happen. Being a bad mother, not going to happen. See, I took accountability for my wrongs. Have you? Because, see, you couldn't even hit the link and tell me how you felt. You had to come under a troll name and type. Because you want to talk to me so bad. You want to talk to this recovering addict so bad. You wanted to trauma bond with Miss Parker, not him. Not Miss Parker trauma bonding with him. You wanted to talk to me. You wanted to trauma bond. And it's a no. Okay? Go trauma bond with the other side. And I'll watch from the clouds. Because it's always a crash landing. Shout out to everybody for hitting that like button for me, man. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. She said, let's fix us, then we can fix the world. Let's go, Jesse. Okay? Because that's facts. Misery loves company. But I don't want to be in attendance. Okay? Please don't invite me. I will see y'all later. Y'all know I'm coming back live later.
Miss Parker, the YouTube star, lighting up the screen, you know who you are, bringing news you can use and a laugh or two. She's got the facts, the fun, and the realest view, with a voice so smooth and a smile so bright. She's shining like a beacon in the darkest night. Deep dives on the stories that really matter. She's breaking it down, cutting through the chatter. Pop and stay a while, you'll feel right at home. She's got a little something for everyone, with a heart so big and an attitude strong. A friend, a voice for the unheard, asking all the questions, never missing a word, or a second to none. She's blazing like the sun. Miss Parker, the only one. She's got the news to amuse and the truth to reveal. For those who need a champion, she's standing tall, fighting for justice, she's giving her all. With every upload, she's making a change, bringing people together, no matter the range. So hit that subscribe, don't miss a beat. Miss Parker's got the content that can't be beat. Questions we all have, she's not afraid to ask. Uncovering the story, she's up to the task. With a laugh, a wink, and a spirit so true. Miss Parker's got the magic and she's sharing it with you. Pop and stay a while, you'll feel right at home. She's got a little something for everyone, with a heart so big and an attitude strong. She's an advocate, a friend, a voice for the unheard, asking all the questions, never missing a word, or a second to none. She's blazing like the sun. Miss Parker, the only one. So here's to Miss Parker, the star of the show, bringing light to the world everywhere she goes. Tune in, stay tuned, you'll never be the same. Miss Parker, remember the name. Miss Parker, remember the name. So